going to go through how to use Medication Pass in ECP. Now remember, if a participant has medications that are administered and managed by us and yourself as a support worker, then they will have a Medication Pass on their profile. If they manage and administer their own medications independently and we don't need to help them in any way, then they will not have an active Medication Pass. Medication Pass is the system that we use to ensure that we are delivering safe care that is well governed. In order to access Medication Pass, we'll go to the face picture and it'll be in your Provide Services tab there. Now do remember as well, as part of your onboarding process, if you are going to be working with someone that requires medication administration by yourself as a support worker, you will undergo specific training with the medical manager on medication administration policies and procedures. You will also go through a competency-based assessment in the practical setting with the medical manager to show that you know how to use the system, follow our processes, and pop out medications as well to show the whole process. So this video is just to get you introduced to the functions of Medication Pass before you go through training with the medical manager and sit your competency. So we'll click on Medication Pass. Now, things that are important to note on the screen when it first pops up, you will see the client's face picture there, their name and their date of birth. Keep in mind that that date of birth is backwards because this is Americanized and we can't change it. Their allergies will show up in a big red box up the top. Even if they don't have any allergies, the red box will show and it will say no known allergies. Now, this system auto-corrects to the date and time that the computer is set to. Okay, so my computer is set to 3:16 p.m. on the 11th of March. It is the 11th of March and it's in the PM section. Now, I do understand that these shifts are a little bit confusing because your shift times will not match the shift times that are allocated in Medication Pass. That's okay. You should only be logging on to Medication Pass around the time that medications are due anyway. So it will automatically pop up with what's due at that time. If for any case though, you do need to change the filter because you're slightly late or slightly too early, or you just want to see what's due for the entire day, you can use the filter change here to see all shifts or other particular times of day. So we're going to use all shifts for here. Now you won't need to change this filter here because we're only going to be working with one person at a time. So whoever's face picture you've clicked on is the only person you'll be delivering medications to. Remember, anytime you make changes to these filters, you need to hit apply. And now it will change it to all shifts. Down here, we can see the different tab options as well for medication schedules that can happen. Scheduled medications are regular medications that happen every day at the same time. PRN medications are as required medications, so only administered when the person requests them or needs them in a particular instance. So we'll go back to scheduled medications to go through all of the prompts on the screen. Now, with your medication training, you will go through the 8 rights of medication administration. So we'll go through them here on the screen as well, so you know where to find everything. We're going to be making sure that it is the right person. So have you clicked on the right face picture of who is in front of you and make sure it's the right name. We're going to make sure it's the right drug. So the drug name can be found here in the black top part, and you're going to be matching that to the packaging. You also want to match the right dose to the packaging as well. So all of that should match what you have in your hands. We'll also want to make sure we know the right reason that this medication is being given. So reason can be found here in the instruction part. So reason, this drug is for reflux. You want to make sure it is the right route. So this is taken orally, or if it is taken another way, there will be specific instructions here of how to take it with the route down there. We also have the right to refuse. So this here, this no pass button, is when someone refuses medication. We want to check it's the right time. So the time that it is scheduled for will show up the top here. For the purposes of this video, we have gone back in time to do the morning medications, but yes, I am aware that the computer is at 3:20. Then we want to have right documentation. So the most important part of this is to remember it is a 2-step process. We want to prep meds and then we want to pass meds. So always remember to click it twice and make sure it has logged appropriately. So to give you an example, if we're going to be administering esomeprazole 20 milligrams, the instructions here say it is in her Webster pack. It's for reflux. To check her history in her folder, you know that she has reflux. And the right route, it's a pill, you know it's going to be taken orally. So prepping the med is checking all of the information, all of your rights of the medication administration against the packaging that you have in your hands and the person that is in front of you. When you're happy that it all matches, you can hit prep med. So you're happy that you've got the right medication in front of you for the right person at the right time, etc. So everything that's in the Webster pack, you'll be shown how to find what medication is in each blister and matching it to the order here. So when you're happy you've found everything in the Webster pack on the packaging, you can hit prep med. If there's a question, it's going to pop up with a question mark, it's going to pop up with a question or a notification. So for this one, the system has recognized that paracetamol can be given as a PRN as well. So it's just asking, if this is given as a PRN, please make sure you text the RN that you've administered it. If it's not a PRN, then you don't have to worry about it. And you just hit save. So this one here, it's got a question mark and a little needle looking sign. So that's because this one here is insulin. So we have different instructions of how to administer it. It's asking you for a vital sign before you administer it. And it's also asking you who helped you administer it, because we need 2 people for this person to administer insulin. And we'll hit save. So all of those medications are prepped and ready to go. When you physically take them over to the person is when you'll hit pass med. Wait for that little turnstile to stop spinning, and it will come up with your signature and a time that it was administered. Okay, make sure you go back through and pass all the medications after you physically give them to the person. Now, we've also got here that test resident had some Coloxal with Senna as a PRN, which we'll go through in a second, a little while ago. It's scheduled a follow-up as a PRN to see how it was effective. So it's popping up here at 11:30. We're due for a follow-up. It's got some questions. Is the person in pain? Yes or no? And how effective was the PRN medication? Let's say complete relief. And we'll hit save. Now, if someone does not want to take their medication, that's okay. That's where we have our no pass option. So if you ask your participant, would you like to take your medication? And they say no, you haven't even started prepping it yet, you know they're just not going to take it, you can hit no pass. Select a reason, and if you're going to attempt again or not. Now, if someone refuses their medication, you absolutely must contact the medical manager to inform them and gain advice on whether or not you should try again later or not. If you're instructed to not bother trying again, you can hit no and you can press save, and it will turn this red with the time that it was refused. You can also use the no pass button if you've already started to prep the medication. So you've started prepping the regular medication of Movicol. The instructions are to mix 1 sachet with water. You've ripped it open, mixed it all up, and you're happy that you've prepped the med properly. You've gone to take it over to the person and they have said, no, I don't want to take that tonight. You've still got the option to hit no pass. Give a reason. Are you going to attempt again or not? Make sure you've contacted the registered nurse or medical manager for advice. If the advice was yes, you need to try again, we change that to yes and we hit save. Now you'll notice that this time it's not turned this part red, it's turned the whole order red with a caution sign. That's alerting you that there has been one failed attempt to issue this task, but it's still giving you the option to try again later. So maybe we come back in another hour, we ask them again, are you sure you don't want to take it, or would you like to take it? And they say, actually, yes, this time I do want it. And then you can pass it and it will change back. Now for PRN medications, these are medications as required. So you see the difference on this order is that the time says as needed. The other difference is the no pass has disappeared. That's because no pass should not be necessary for something that has been asked for. If though, by chance, they've asked for it, you've prepped it, and then they change their mind quite suddenly, you contact the medical manager and you just stop charting. Okay, we can go in through the back way of the system and we can help chart that for you. So if you're delivering PRN medications, the only rights of medication administration that will not be the same will be right time, because there is no particular time to give it. What will be relevant is how often it can be done throughout the day. So for example, ibuprofen, 200 milligrams times 2, so 2 tablets of that, found in its original packaging. It can only be given 3 times a day with 6 to 8 hours in between. When the order is put into the system, these lockouts are entered with the order. So when you go to log this medication, make sure you're always logging medications at the exact time that you gave it, because that will start the timer on how long it will take until it will open up again for you to give another dose. So for example, we'll give some ibuprofen, we've done all of our rights and prepped it. It's a PRN medication, so we've texted the RN or the medical manager that we are going to administer it and for what reason. Pain, we hit save. We give it to the person and they've taken it, pass med. When we exit out and go back into PRN, you'll see that there is no option to administer that again. That will not unlock for another 8 hours because it can only be had 3 times a day. You can put extra notes in when you click on something, like we did before, if you want to, and hit save. So what we can see over here with Coloxyl Senna, we see that the max has been reached. So earlier in the day, the resident wanted to take it, and they're only allowed to have it once a day. So they took it earlier this morning, or even last night, sorry, 8:29 p.m. They're only allowed to have it once in 24 hours, so max is reached. You can't administer it again. And that's why we saw over in scheduled medications, there was a follow-up for Coloxyl Senna because it was given the night before.